Before we read the Polygon article linked below in the description section, spoiler, small nuggets, bits of information, in case you're wondering. Just a lot of me rambling if you like that sort of thing. There is going to be another service maintenance happening in a few hours from now, Friday, February 7th. Rockstar service supporting Red Dead Redemption 2 profile stats online play for PlayStation 4. Once again, PlayStation 4, temporarily offline February 7th between 6 and 8 a.m. UTC. And I know there's some people that were like, well, UTC is not the same as UK time. It's similar, I think. I don't know exactly, but that's what I read on Google. But it's that time. So I guess roughly midnight my time. So it's like, once again, 2 hours. Hopefully whatever they're doing service maintenance-wise is improving things on PS4. And I'm surprised they're only focusing on PS4 because, like I mentioned, Xbox One and PC also has issues when it comes to Red Dead Online. This maintenance is not expected to take the entire schedule window, and services will return as soon as maintenance is completed. So anyways, just want to let you know about that for those of you on the PlayStation 4. Let's go read the articles, shall we? So Rockstar retweeted this article sometime, I think, late yesterday afternoon. I didn't get around to checking it out until this morning, so we're going to go over it from Polygon. I will have it as usual linked below in the description section in case you want to check it out yourself. Rockstar on Red Dead Online's Moonshiners campaign and what's coming next. Now, according to Tez, there's some interesting stuff in here that we're going to go over, and we'll just go ahead and just browse through it together. Red Dead Online started off in the shadows of its big brother, Grand Theft Auto Online. Like it's still in the shadows. The Western was comparatively sedate. The world is still being established. Red Dead, by its very nature, can't crank the stakes up as high. And there are no underground bunkers, orbital satellites. Well, that's a good thing. We don't need any freaking orbital cannons or Fast and Furious style sports cars. I don't know. I feel like Fast and Furious is inspired by GTA, not the other way around. I'm getting off topic. Rockstar is working within those limitations. As a result, is a much more tranquil and believable world. If GTA is a madcap theme park where players fly by their airborne missile-firing motorcycles, once again, why did I mention broomsticks? Then Red Dead Online is like a day at the park with friends, capped off by laser tag session. Okay. Let's see. I mosey into saloons and fistfights with my friends, or take my big beautiful horse, Hayseed, for a jaunt through the woods. The recently added specialist roles have added more content to the game, but also more direction. They provide a stronger sense of who my character is and what her goals are. With the Moonshiners update, those goals are simple. Sell booze, punch goons, and be a fabulous hot mess in my buddy's bar. Drinks with the locals. My buddy Jake owns an enormous, clearly illegal bar where one of us serves as a bartender while we all down drinks until our UI scrambles and we can barely stand, or we kick the NPC band out and take their place as instruments. Yeah, that's one thing that people like, is the ability to go down into the bar, hang out with friends, posse members, have some moonshine, and play on the instruments. Let's see, quote, "We knew the community was keen on a property, so we wanted to give them the first taste of that," said Katie Pika, lead online production associate at Rockstar, in an interview with Polygon. "A bar seemed like something we could have a lot of fun with and fit perfectly with the Moonshiner business vibe. We wanted to replicate aspect of the saloon gameplay from single player while adding new interactive features specifically for online. The band has a good amount of technical work behind the scenes that belay how simple it is to play. NPCs will man the instruments we don't use, or we can take a spot together as we flourish our instruments and take breaks in return and get increasingly sloshed. The game just a lot of technical work and mix and match between instruments. Rockstar has isolated each individual instrument as well as created different play styles depending on whether I'm drunk or sober. It has absolutely no gameplay benefit, but it owns, and my posse and I have spent hours just messing around as a band." Yeah, so yeah, once again, a lot of people are enjoying the band aspect down in the bar. Looking into the future, working my way through Red Dead Online content is less like highway and more like a spiraling set of paths. I wander down for a while, then head down another path. It's decision that removes the feeling of a content treadmill. I've become more invested in the world. This isn't always a good thing. I often become drunk on hubris, running hasty through Pinkerton checkpoints, you mean? Revenue agents checkpoint. They're two completely different factions. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There's room for more roles in the future, but it's not about the escalation of increasing scenarios and stakes. My group of friends each specialize in a role. Well, you can actually specialize in all 4 roles. Decorating our camps and our characters to reflect the reality. Quote, there's a lot of additional roles that we want to introduce with a touch of features we haven't explored yet in Red Dead Online, said Tara Kamad, associate online producer at Rockstar. We're still very much in the formative stages of delivering an array of roles and gameplay types within those roles. In addition, we previously introduced roles that are still going to get upgrades and love from the devs. Quote, we want to keep adding new collections and additional variety to collector gameplay, eventually adding the next step, much the same way that Moonshiner is an evolution of the Trader, said Pika. One idea we really want to explore is the idea of posse members each finding distinctively different part of an item that, when brought together, forms a collectible you can log in your collection. That's interesting. See, property owners have more to look forward to as well. Some of the roles would let us introduce feature-rich businesses and even communal spaces that players can gather and meet up socially, lone wolves and full posse, said Hamad. Maybe even let each player own a part of such a space. The Moonshiners update is another layer on top of what was already a flourishing world. Red Dead Online's updates are rarely as momentous as the World of Warcraft expansion, are comprehensive as No Man's Sky complete revamp. Instead, they focus on honing a core of experience or exploring the western frontier and telling your own cinematic story. It's working well so far, except for me. I'm too busy getting drunk and holding my posse so I can stick to some piano. Okay. So, a few things real quick. First off, to be fair, Red Dead Online hasn't been around as long as No Man's Sky, and definitely nowhere near as long as World of Warcraft. So, I mean, both games have had a lot more time to make content and expand their various worlds. And, you know, No Man's Sky has gotten better, so that's a very good thing. World of Warcraft, the less we talk about Blizzard, the better. But people seem to like World of Warcraft Classic, and I'm excited kind of for Diablo 4, but with all the BS going on with Blizzard, I still don't know. But anyways, I think that's the article. So really not so much in there regarding the idea of a communal space. It makes sense to have a communal space because if you look at the high-end apartments in Red Dead Online, for example, you can have the illusion that you own an apartment inside this building. But there's certain places where that illusion kind of gets shattered, like with, for example, the properties, the homes up in Vinewood Hills. And I know not as many people own those now as they used to when they first became available for purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online. But it kind of killed the illusion seeing players coming in and out of your home. So it did work a little bit better to have people purchase a high-end apartment from this building or that building. They had a few buildings you could choose from for high-end apartments. That way it was feasible, it was plausible that yourself and others live in the same apartment complex, which, you know, it made sense. So to make this communal does seem to be logical. The information in this Polygon article, there's nothing really groundbreaking about it. The idea of continuing to encourage players to play together, to have this, I guess, communal theme and whatnot. But at the same time, I really don't know what direction they are planning on going. But the idea of even more properties, and we definitely want more properties, obviously. And that was one of the things that disappointed a lot of us about the Moonshine Shack, was even though we had this ability to have a bar and even a band below the shack itself, we don't have our own room. We don't have our own stuff inside, similar to the camp. And that's what a lot of us were also hoping for. Plus, to have the bar as an additional passive income, especially if you actually build it up and you have a lot of people inside the bar, well, obviously they have to be spending money down there. We're not running a charity, so you think we'd be making a few dollars a day off the bar itself, along with everything else. But our own room would have been nice, along with a wardrobe, a lockbox, as well as the weapons locker, as I've mentioned in a previous video, including the ability to have a fast travel map inside the Moonshine Shack so we could travel back to our camp or to one of the other locations throughout Red Dead Online. So I'm hoping that going forward, they'll do a better job with the properties. It is interesting that they are continuing with these roles, and I'm hopeful that the development team behind Red Dead Online is going forward, because lately it does seem like, to a lot of us, with the ongoing issues that plagued the game, that's been brought up numerous times, obviously, that it sometimes feels like that maybe they're abandoning the game, and I hate to say that, but they just became aware of the fact that animals were not spawning in lobbies, in, as I said, certain sessions, and that seems a little ridiculous, but I'm trying to be optimistic about the future of Red Dead Online. I want the game to succeed, just like many of you do. I would say for the most part, the article offered small little samples, teeny tiny little samples. Like when you go to a grocery store and, occasionally they'll have like a tray out with like, hey, some new chips or something. That's basically what this is. A few morsels of information, not much altogether. So I really do hope that soon Rockstar does put out a newswire regarding the spring update, and to also reassure the community that they are in fact working on the issues that are still plaguing the game. Because, I mean, they did post that copy pasta news, tweet out from the Rockstar Social Club page regarding, the animal spawns. Plus, people are still having an issue with getting their free bounty hunters license. And if you're one of those people, I recommend you send a ticket to Rockstar Support and ask them about it. Say, hey, this week the bounty hunter license is supposed to be free, and it still says that it's going to cost me 15 bars of gold. That's ridiculous. And yeah, you definitely need to go to the Rockstar Support page, file a ticket. Hopefully they'll get back to you. A lot of people are filing tickets though, so it may take them a day or so to get back to you. There will be an automatic response, but just stick with it, and hopefully they'll make it right and reimburse everybody that already spent 15 bars of gold this week when it should have been free. So hopefully everyone will get their gold back, and everyone else that's still waiting to purchase the bounty hunter license for free, hopefully Rockstar will fix that issue. There always seems to be something in the game. But anyways, what were your thoughts about this article? Really much to do about nothing. I was admittedly kind of on the fence about actually doing a video about it. And what role are you wanting them to have in the future? What's if you could pick one role that would be in the spring update? Hopefully more than one role, because that didn't work so well with Moonshiners. Hopefully they'll do like Frontier Pursuits with like 2 or 3 roles for the March, April update, somewhere in that ballpark. What is one role that you would really like to see them add to Red Dead Online, and one that's reasonable, one that would make sense, one that isn't like planned on down the road, like a rancher or farmer role? That seems like way off if they ever do something like that, or being a robber baron or a captain of industry type role. Something a little bit more quote-unquote realistic, like a lawman role, an outlaw role, an angler role. You get the idea. And if not a role, what would you like to see added in the spring update? Whether it's a new horse or weapon or something else entirely. The ability to finally own our own property that we can actually live in and have stuff inside. Your thoughts, your views, opinions, predictions about what you would like to see in the hypothetical Red Dead Online Spring 2020 update, welcome below in the comments section.